Okay, so let's check these two out. So this one that I'm about to load up is the Weltool T12 Plus. So this has a 4000 milliamp hour 21700 battery with a 3.65 volt power source. And this one is the newest edition, the F8R. Now, these lights are, and this is using an 1100 milliamp hour 3.6 volt, but this is not a 21700. And as you saw, it's probably double the size of a 21700. And in fact, it's almost the size of, it's about 2/3 the size of the actual T12 Plus itself. This is going in the new F8R. Now, some of you may be thinking, what's the point in comparing these two lights? Because they're so different. And you've definitely got a point, and that's actually probably one of the first things that I would like to point out is that these two lights have very, very different uses, guys. So when I say that, this one is not a light that you're going to grab and chuck in your pocket when you want to go to the movies or something like that. In fact, this light might not even be one of those, but it's definitely more likely that you're going to grab this to be a pocket light than this. However, they're both on the large side for a pocket. Obviously, the T12 Plus is much more pocketable than the F8R, but the F8R really is a specific throwing spotlight, okay? Whereas the T12 Plus, it does give more lumens on the higher output, and it does have 3 modes that you can change into. So the diversity of the T12 Plus is more than the F8R, which is why I say, you know, if you're on a farm or if you've got acreage or property or something like that, you'd probably use the T12 Plus for around the house and, you know, closer up uses. And then the F8R would just be sitting on your stand there for when you need to kind of scour the edge of your property and the edge of the fence looking for foxes or rabbits or whatever, things like that. So let's just go ahead and check out the size differences. So the T12 Plus comes in at about 15.5 to 16 centimeters tall, and the F8R comes in at 19.5 centimeters tall. When it comes to weight, the F8R is too heavy. So the F8R comes in at, I think it was 380. It was 145 plus 150 something. So it's 380 or 390 grams with fully loaded with the battery. And the T12 Plus comes in at 237.1 grams. So obviously much lighter, much more compact and more pocketable, more user-friendly to take around with you. Also, one of the major differences is that the F8R is a side switch operated light and the T12 Plus is a forward clicky with a tail cap light. So it's more of like a tactical style light, okay? And that's another thing I want to talk about between these two lights. So let's say you are in some kind of emergency service worker job. Let's call it security or police or something like that. Or security aren't emergency service workers, but let's say security or police, right? This light is going to be the light that you're going to have notched onto your belt, in a holster, or in your pocket, or in your center console of your car, or something like that. As you could see there, I had it on fully click in for strobe, half click in for turbo, but then from strobe I can half click into high mode or strobe, but then I can half press and momentary into turbo. That's like your tactical style option. Whereas the F8R has a click on memory and cycling down from high, medium, low, and eco mode, and it has a double click for turbo, full power, and a triple click for strobe. There you go. That's it. But it's the distance that is going to attract you to the F8R that is going to pull you away from the T12 Plus if you're looking for something like super distance over something like more compact, which has got a lot of distance and it's got more light, but it's got more uses. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I hold it down, and then I click it in during the low flash, now it's got, I half press momentary into low mode, full click into highest mode, and then from here I can half click into high mode and medium mode. Okay, and then click it in. One more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now low. Now it's going to strobe. So strobe was the one I was already in, so we'll click it in on high when it flashes high. So now this one is half click into high, full click into medium, and then from medium I can swap from medium to low, okay? So you've got a lot of different options, or 3 options of mode outputs and uses, whereas the F8R, it's just one single mode group, which is just your eco, low, medium, high, and full power. Okay, so let's go to the lumens. So the lowest lumen output here is 20 lumens, and the lowest lumen output here is 14 lumens. Now let's just take a look at the beam profiles on low for a second. So the F8R has got already a smaller looking and more intense hotspot even in the lower output. Now let's just half press that into much higher, and I'll move it back, and I will cycle that into much higher and move it back. Okay, now what we're seeing here is you have a cleaner spill, in my opinion, in the F8R, more of an intense hotspot in the F8R, but you actually have more light in the spill with the T12 Plus. So very similar up close, but as soon as we go out to the night shots, you will see the difference in distance and light. So what I want you to be looking for is the amount of light that's in the spill on the highest output in the T12 Plus, and then the clarity of hotspot in the F8R, okay? So the F8R lumen outputs are as follows. 1600 lumen max with a 200,000 candela max for a max distance of 894 meters and a max runtime of 3 hours and 16 meters. The T12 max is 2000 lumens, so 400 lumens more, but only 141,000 candela. So that candela does drop, which means the clarity of hotspot is going to be less than the F8R. You'll get a max distance of 750 meters, and the runtime is 1 hour and 21 minutes. So much better runtime here because the battery is enormous. The next one down is even, so it's 1,000 lumens on the high for both of these. In the F8R, you've got 128,000 candela. In the T12 Plus, you've got 70,000 candela. Then down to medium, you've got 600 lumens here for 72,000 candela, and you've got 560 lumens here for 33,000 candela. Again, run times, the F8R is always going to win because the battery is basically double the size, okay? Then low mode is 20 lumens with the T12 Plus, 1,000 candela, and you get that for 73 hours, which is brilliant for 20 lumens. With the F8R, you get 200 lumens on low mode, which you'll get for 19 hours, but then you also have an eco mode of 14 lumens, which you get for 288 hours. 4 outputs here, low, medium, high, full power. 5 outputs here, eco mode, low, medium, high, full power. So right before we go to the night shots, I'll just tell you that both of these lights are IP67 water rated, so you can drop them into water, pick it up, and it'll be fine. I will tell you that to charge the T12 Plus, you have to remove the battery in order to charge it, and then charge it in an external charger. Whereas the F8R, you unscrew this little tab here, magnetize it to the tail, and then charge your battery in that charging port there. And then that just screws that back up. Now, both of these lights passed the 1 meter drop test. The T12 Plus has through-hole cooling. See that? Through-hole cooling, because it puts out more lumens than the F8R. The F8R has heat sink areas, but no through-hole cooling. The F8R has a dedicated area here, this smooth area here, to be mounted onto rifles. So this is where you'll attach a rifle mount for this light. The T12 Plus has a very, very solid pocket clip that you can clip to belts, pants, bags, whatever. The F8R does not, but the F8R is compatible with one of Weltool's holsters as well. When choosing between these two lights, if you're going to choose between these two lights, We're going to go to the night shots so you can have a look at how they both perform, but just keep this in mind. If you want something dedicated to throwing and nothing else, you're going to want to go with the F8R, okay? If you want something that can throw, can put out a lot of light, but also good for tactical situations, also good for inside situations like a bedside light, self-defense light, things like that, you're going to want the T12 Plus. Or you could get both. Both is going to cover everything. You're going to cover your bedside light, your EDC, your in your car, in your glove box light, your tactical light with this one, and then you're going to cover your throwing spotlight with this one, which has your single purpose spotlight. Or if you're a hunter or you have a farm and you need to, be able to get rid of foxes or rabbits or whatever the pests are, then this is probably the one that you're going to want mounted onto your rifle, because I can't think of a better light to mount onto your rifle with the run times. I mean, 1600 lumens, 3 hours and 16 minutes, 1000 lumens, 3 hours and 45 minutes, 600 lumens, 6 hours and 47 minutes, 200 lumens, 19 hours, 14 lumens, 288 hours. I mean, it's just epic how good the run times are with this. And you're going to get much more candela, so therefore much more throw. Just finally, before we go, we'll look here. So we have here an SFT40 with down a smooth reflector, and we have here an SFT25 with a round die, or SFT25R down a smooth reflector as well. So without further ado, let's check out the night shots, and then I will link both of these lights at Weltool Direct, and I will link the Weltool page at liteshop.com.au. All right, guys, let's go see what these bad boys can do. See ya. All right, first up, we got the T12 Plus. That is full blast. So take notice of the hotspot and the spill, the wideness of the spill, the hotspot all the way back there, reaching just over 100 meters where those signs are. And it is reflecting off those signs behind that bushy tree, although it does get a little bit kind of milky and shadowy. Very, very, very useful light, and it's not even pitch black. So if you can imagine it being pitch black, then it would be, cutting through the darkness even further. But it's about 9:30 p.m. at night, and the sun set about half an hour ago, but we've still got some residual light from the sun over the horizon. But we're pretty good, because I mean, if I let that go and then boom, so that's the T12 Plus, okay? All right, the F8R, wow. Okay, so clarity of hotspot, much better. Brightness, I think the T12 Plus had more lumens, but look at the clarity of that hotspot, man. This is a proper thrower searchlight. Look at the distinction of that hotspot. Awesome. And back there, much more clarity. Much more clarity than the T12 Plus. Nice. So in terms of throwing capacity, the F8R has a much more clear hotspot at a distance, whereas the T12 Plus had seemingly more light coming out of it. But look at that. It might have the same lumens. I haven't actually reviewed the lumen outputs on these yet. It might have the same lumens, but if it does, more of them in the F8R are directed in the hotspot, because look at that, the clarity is brilliant. All right, so there it is, F8R versus T12 Plus. See ya.